Okay, hey guys, and welcome back to our Reign of the Warlock review series. So, in the interest of keeping this brief, let me start a timer here. There we go. So, a lot of skills for this new character are fairly overpowered. For example, my cleave is level 6, meaning it's level 1 plus whatever plus skills I may have on this character is adding to it. But fundamentally, it's a level 1 skill, okay? Level 1. I'm pairing it with this little known ethereal war spike. It has the same attack frames as a phase blade with much higher damage, right? When made into something like a botted, you get huge enhanced damage as well as 60% increased attack speed. You get the dual leech, you get the plus 30 to all attributes, you get the prevent monster heal, so lots of good stuff here. 200% damage to undead, chance to cast poison nova when you kill an enemy, etc. So really great stuff there as far as what you'd want for like a cleave. So we're just gonna cast our hex purge here for the extra increased attack speed. And like, this is player's 8, guys, so he's just shredding through it, no problem. And we're just gonna turn our volume down a little bit. Just a little too loud for my liking. Yeah, that's plenty. Okay, so but look at that. Player's 8, boom. One hit. You look at the damage, it's like 4 to 7.5k. Let's see, do we have any deadly strike? Okay, we have 67% deadly strike, so that's probably helping out a lot. So I think that's coming from the G-Face, the Hylar's Wrath, and the Gores, because Botted doesn't have any deadly strike of its own. It's not on my shield, and it's not on any of my other gear. So just the helmet, the boots, and the amulet alone are making up 67 deadly strike. So this is effectively proccing for, like, instead of 5k on the low end, you're looking at more like 10k, and instead of like 8k, you're looking at more like 16k. So you're proccing between 10 and 16k for cleave. You're attacking super fast because of the increased attack speed. Like, look at that. Right? Seeing is believing. That's mega fast. Right? And the reason for that, again, is that this war spike has the same base as, say, like a phase blade. Now, there's different weapons. A lot of them do work. Like Plague. You could use Plague. A lot of people sleep on it. It's got deadly strike, it's got increased speed, it's got plus the skills, it's got a chance to cast poison nova on striking. So there goes the poison nova, right? So it procs pretty often. And again, because it's a phase blade, it attacks super fast. So the crazy thing I want you guys to keep in mind here, right, as you see these guys all melt, is this is player's 8. So this is simulating a full game, and I have a level 1 cleave essentially. So everyone is talking about how busted like Echoing Strike is and all this sort of thing, but if you max out Levitation Mastery, even a level 1 cleave is enough to clear player's 8 hell. This is Act 5 as well, with something like, look at this is barely doing any damage. 134 to 152 is not exactly the pinnacle of damage, right? Okay, let's see. So that was Plague. Let's try Death now, right? So instead of making Death in an ethereal item, we made it in a Phase Blade. Why would we do that? Well, again, we did it because we want the Phase Blade base for the attack speed breakpoints. This is the fastest item in the game, is the Phase Blade, along with the War Spike and also the Demon Crossbow. Those are the fastest items in the game. So look how fast these guys are being attacked. Now, mind you, it's taking a while to kill them, but this is player's 8, and these guys have a ton of hit points. So that's very impressive considering it's only 155 to 175 damage. Now, I do think things like Cleave make use of the crushing blow, and I think with something like Death, we're sitting at 100% chance crushing blow. So even if my actual damage is low, that crushing blow is still going to take off their health points in a hurry. And that works on bosses as well. So this is actually a very viable option for your main attack weapon for both mirrored blades and cleave, right? Okay, we got a little too far from the waypoint, and I want to try some more items with you guys. Let's quickly save and exit here, and we'll just play a new game. Back to hell. So you see, guys, I got all these different weapons here ready to test out for you. So far we've done Death, we've done Plague, we've done Breath of the Dying, War Spike. So let's put some of those away. So we've done these guys already. We've done the War Spike, we've done the Plague. We haven't done the Last Wish, so we'll show you that. For a budget option, we'll do the Crescent Moon, then we'll do the Oath inside of an ethereal item. I guess I could have gone with a higher damage item, but that's okay. This balances out the attack speed as well, right? We'll do the Voice of Reason. And then Oath, we did it in a Phase Blade as well, just so we could see if there was a noticeable difference. And if either one had the clear advantage, right? So let's see, let's go to different. This is kind of cleared already. Let's go to Glacier Trail, see what we can achieve here. Hopefully we don't die. Okay, so these guys are going down very quick considering this is players 8. So that's at the Last Wish. So if Crushing Blow applies again, we'd be sitting at the 100%. The damage is really not too shabby. The speed is there. It's a Phase Blade. So I mean, this is definitely a very viable option. Last Wish and a Phase Blade. I realize that Last Wish is a very rich person's option, but you know, it is part of the game. It is part of the game meta. It is one of the higher end runewords, so it's important to throw it in there when it works for something, right? So you get the level 17 Might, you get a bunch of different chances to proc things, including Fade, which is very OP. You get the Prevent Heal, the Hit Blinds Target, the Ignore Defense, you get the Magic Find, you get the Ignore Target's Defense, and of course Whopping Crush and Blow. This one's perfect roll of 70%, so huge. We're going to swap out to Reason now and see how Reason does and how the procs work. Okay, maybe not. Just gonna save and exit, start a new game to recoup our body. So the reason my Warlock is dying, guys, is he's only got 638 life. As you can see, I've pumped out the dexterity. That was because this guy was originally a bow lock when I was showing you guys some videos about the bow lock. And he's since, you know what, maybe we just fix that now. Okay, so we made that a more melee-oriented build. So just for fun, we're going to max out Cleave this time, as well as Mirror Blades. We're going to leave Echoing Strike alone. We're also going to max out Hex Purge. So this build now is definitely meant as more of like a melee build. So let's get our Mercenary revived. Sorry, this is all not part of the original intention for the video, but you know, we adapt. We adapt, we overcome. We are heroes. Heroes of Sanctuary. Okay, so let's hit up the R8 plateau with our new skills here. So we've got Cleave, and we've got Mirrored Blades. Alright, so I mean, you guys can see, even with something that's as weak and pathetic as Voice of Reason, which has literally no on-weapon damage as far as enhanced damage, we're still holding our own in a player's 8, you know, Act 5 map with, again, almost still next to no life. I should really just get Call to Arms and wear it, but anyway, so that's Voice of Reason. And as far as survivability, if you guys are worried about it, he does leech life with all these skills, so if you just have a good life leech item like I do here, you should be mostly okay. But again, you have to keep in mind, guys, I'm playing players 8. That's as hard as it gets. Most times you're not going to be playing players 8. So here we have Kingslayer. It's going to play very similar as something like Fury, which is here, right? These two are very similar. I just made them. These are kind of old school runewords from back in the day, but they have their merits. As you can see, Fury has 40% increased attack speed, enhanced damage, 33% deadly strike, as well as 66% chance of open wounds. So again, for a Cleave build, I could see Fury doing quite well. In fact, let's take it for a test drive. So I mean, this is players 8 and that was a champion pack. You tell me if that was fast, right? It doesn't look very impressive as far as the on-weapon damage, but you can see it made quick work of them, right? So that's Fury. Fairly impressive. I would think Kingslayer performs very similarly. You get more crushing blow, whereas with Fury you get more deadly strike, which I prefer. But they both have their merits, right? This one will take down bosses quicker, Kingslayer, because of the crushing blow. So it depends what you're after. This is better for everyday minions, let's say. I also made an Eternity Phase Blade just for fun. Honestly, guys, they're not the worst, right? Like, sure, it's a burr and a sir, but look at that, 20% chance crushing blow, minimum damage, life stolen per hit. Slowest target, 33%, is pretty decent. It replenishes your life, and it gives you cannot be frozen on a weapon. It's very few items that give you cannot be frozen on an actual weapon, so it's worth considering. Grief, I don't know how well Grief performs for Cleave and Mirrored Blades. Let's find out. Okay, so it's an absolute hog for Mirrored Blades. I know it doesn't work for Echoing Strike, but for Mirrored Blades it's just instant one-hit KO, so that's amazing. Let's see for Cleave if it does well for Cleave. Oh yeah, oh you betcha. So Grief is still in the game. Not so much if you're doing an Echoing Strike, because again, an Echoing Strike build cannot use that 400 damage or whatever your roll is. It cannot make use of it, but it seems like Cleave and Mirrored Blades have no problem. So since these two skills make use of the plus damage, arguably this is probably still the strongest in-slot item you could get for those builds. Like, Grief is just in a league of its own. Next we made Call to Arms, right? And I'm going to speed up here, guys, because I don't want to make this video more than 15 minutes. But Call to Arms, as you can see, gives you quite a bit of increased attack speed as well as increased damage, as well as you get the benefit of, you know, battle orders and things like that. Last Wish is Last Wish. We know it's good. We tried it earlier. Okay, Mania. This is the new one that they renamed. It's from the last patch, but they renamed it. Between the chance to cast Burst of Speed, the Fanaticism, and the increased attack speed, I can tell you that this thing slaps as far as attack speed. You could clear Hell players 8 with this, no problem, for the cost of 3 easy to come by runes, right? Unbending Will is another budget option. Again, it's one of these new rune words. Huge enhanced damage for the runes that are being asked. You can easily put it in a Phase Blade for the huge increased attack speed. It also comes with some attack speed itself. You know, you got life leech and some other things, as well as damage reduced by. So overall, really not a bad deal. You've got uniques like Azarath, right? I've got a jewel here for 15 IS. You can do a Shawl rune for 50 increased attack speed. That's huge increased attack speed on a Phase Blade. You can clear Hell with this, no problem. Hand of Justice, again, it's a higher end rune word, but it's got the increased attack speed, enhanced damage, deadly strike, etc. This would work for either of these builds. Lawbringer, believe it or not, because of the Cryptify, does work. You can clear Hell players 8 with this, no problem. It doesn't look like much. The damage seems very low, but somehow it just works. Crescent Moon, same thing. Because of the huge increased attack speed of these builds, you proc your static field and chain lightning fairly often, that it actually does make this worthwhile. Oath, same thing, 50% increased attack speed on a phase blade is huge. And sorry guys, it's just my 15-minute alarm. And then Last Wish we already covered. I guess I must have 2 of them, so I'll just chuck that one. So Oath is also a great option. Highly recommend. It's a nice budget option. Oath in an ethereal is obviously better, but it's better only from a damage standpoint, not from a damage per second standpoint. From a damage per second, Grief would still Oath in the Phase Blade would still outrank it and be better. This one, just obviously, if you look at the character screen here, damage goes up considerably with the ethereal, but the damage per second drops significantly as well. So it is a trade-off, depends how you look at it. Having said that, I will say that the Oath Cryptic Swords perform really well. They're still quite fast. And as you guys can see, I'm holding my own in Players 8, no problem here, right? Like, making pretty quick work of these guys. And that's considering it has no deadly strike on it or anything like that, so. And that's it, guys. I think we're going to wrap up here. This video's gone long enough, but hopefully we've inspired you to explore some options, some creative options, some expensive options, some budget options. And oh yeah, bonus destruction, who could forget? Okay, we'll run this one for fun. I'm sure I'm running past my 15 minutes at this point, but we'll run destruction. Look at that, just so you guys could see some fireworks. So needless to say, destruction definitely works for a Mirrored Blades and Cleave build. Alright guys, catch you in the next one.